Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video, and today we are going to do a character guide on Cait Sith. This is a guide I wasn't planning to do. If you guys saw my summons, they did not go well for Cait Sith. I've just had terrible luck getting them. But I was just sitting here overcapped on tickets, so I just hopped in for some more summons and got him in like, I don't know, 20 or 30 tickets. So we got his LD, so let's go ahead and do the character guide on Cait Sith in case some of you are interested. He's a pretty basic, pretty simple character to play, right? So in this video, we're going to go ahead, we're going to take a look at the artifacts, we're going to look at the spheres, then we're going to jump in and do the showcase, right? So let's hop into artifacts first. Cait Sith, you really want to go for this passive right here. You want Max Brave 330 and Mog Fever Boost. Mog Fever Boost is pretty standard because it's basically increasing all of his stats as long as you have 2 more buffs, which Cait Sith is all about buffing, and so that's what you really want to do. But Max Brave 330 because Cait Sith does a lot of battery, and the battery scales off of his Max Brave. So increasing your Max Brave is going to increase the battery, which is what Cait Sith is meant to do. So I really recommend you go that route. You could do Attack 108 also. He does have a couple of damaging hits where that could help, right? But Cait Sith is built to like always crit, so attack isn't as important when you're always critting, right? I mean, it still does play a factor, but really Max Brave is where you want to go with this guy. Let's go ahead and look at the spheres. So for the spheres, you've got a couple of options here, but basically for the A sphere, anything that boosts Max Brave or attack, I went ahead and did Terra. So a lot of the A spheres trigger on crit, and so I feel like Cait Sith is really good at triggering that because basically his LD allows the entire party to get 100% crit chance. So that's really, really good to note if you want that full crit chance, right? So this is Int Brave and Max Brave. You could do one that's like an attack Max Brave sphere. That would probably be a little bit better. But I had already thrown Terras on there. I don't really feel like changing it, so we'll just leave that. Probably not the best one, but it's an option, right? C Sphere is kind of just the typical. Basically something that is going to buff the party's attack. So I have Alphanaut on there. You could do Maria. You could do Lude. Those are pretty standard C slots that I talk about quite a bit. D slot, same thing. Something that's going to buff the party attack. If you can get Max Brave as well, that's also good. So Hopes, I feel like, is a pretty premium choice here for the D slot. One, the trigger is granting a buff, which Cait Sith is all about granting buffs. 2, you're getting attack and Max Brave, which are like the 2 big things that Cait Sith wants, and they both help the party out. So I think Hopes is probably one of the better in-slot spheres you can do here. Cait Sith does work with Waka. Waka's also got a very good sphere, so if you're looking for someone to throw Waka's sphere on, Cait Sith is a really good option for that as well, right? Alright, so let's go ahead. We'll hop into the showcase here. Kind of talk about how he works. So let's hop in. The big thing with Cait Sith is that some of his buffs and his battery scales off of the amount of buffs your party has. So you want to keep the party buff count very full. So you can see just starting turn here with this team setup, we're just loaded with buffs right off the bat. So this is a very good start. I also loaded up with some calls that will buff as well, just to make sure. But yeah, like we could throw down Galvanize. That's just refreshing buffs there. But, you know, I tried to bring more support type characters that have a lot of buffs going on, right? All right. So Cait Sith has a few things going on. So you've got the Toy Soldier, which is the main attack that you'd want to do. You've got Mog Dance. And then we've got Lucky Girl, which is the call. And then we've got just a standard AA with some Brave gain and some buffs for the party there, right? So what I'm going to start off with here is the thing is he starts off with all of the buffs, right? Including Lucky Girl, which is the really big buff you want from Cait Sith. The Lucky Girl is the one that gives the party 100% crit chance, which is what's really, really notable about Cait Sith. So you don't actually have to lead with the LD if you don't want to. I'm going to lead with Mog Dance because it's a free turn, free skill use. So lead with Mog Dance. So you can give you a fat battery. It does a fat heal. Put some buffs on. It's just a good button to press once in a while if you want to get that battery, right? Then, sure, let's go ahead and just use Lucky Girl. Lucky Girl, the other thing that's notable about it is an instant break. So, unless it's like the new boss rush where you can't break. And, 500k AoE, that's not bad damage considering Cait Sith is primarily a support, right? Let's go ahead and we need to get Freya up in the air right away so this orb will start ticking here. So let's do that. Once we got Freya up in the air, we're good to go, right? So let's do that. And then let's go ahead and do that. Alright, and then we've got Ramza here. So Ramza, let's go ahead and let's do Lilith's call here. I do like Lilith's call. It's not a bad call. I use it quite a bit, actually. Alright, and then Ramza... Sure, let's go ahead and... Should I push him back? No, I'll let him take turns. Let's just go ahead and Ultima here, get some buffs going on. So, Cait Sith, basically, you can press the buttons in pretty much any order you want. You just want to keep that LD buff up constantly, because the crit hits... Like, if you're running Cait Sith in party, it's because you want the crit hits. That's really what you're doing. And I know crit hits were one of the things on the newest boss rush, right? So some of you may have run him for that. The thing with Cait Sith is he works a lot better, I would say, as a call than in party, because you can bring in that LD call and then get the crit hits, and that's really all you need to do. But if you like to run him in party, we can kind of show off what he does here, right? So Mog Dance we've already showed off. That's pretty much your free skill use, battery, heal type move. Lucky Girl is your big buff that you want. It's instant break, so it's really nice when you want that. And then Toy Soldier, the thing with Toy Soldier here, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to Mog Dance. I kind of want to get... Oh, actually, no, I'm not going to be able to show it off because Freya's up in the air. But the thing that's frustrating with Toy Soldier is it has alternating hits. So it's really frustrating when trying to break enemies if you don't understand how it hits. So what happens is the brave hits don't happen simultaneously. So a lot of times what happens is you want to break an enemy in a certain order, right? So let's say A and B were back to back right here and both of their brave was up. If B was directly behind A, I would want to break B first. If I broke A, it would just slide behind B and it doesn't really affect the turn order. So we always like pushing our characters up in front. So when using Toy Soldier, if there's two enemies like this, it's actually the one you're targeting is actually going to get hit second. So if I wanted to break B, I would actually target A. If there's three enemies, then it's going to hit the one you're targeting first. So then you just target like normal. So the big thing is with Toy Soldier is if there's two enemies, you want to target the one that you don't want to break first, if that makes sense, right? So let's say I wanted to break B. I'm going to target A. Let's use Toy Soldier. This is pretty much his main Brave Shaving attack. It's really the only Brave Shave attack that he's got in his kit other than his LD, which is going to be an instant break, right? So pretty much, like, if you're on a turn and you don't know what to do, I typically just pop a Toy Soldier. Now, you could Brave Plus. His Brave Plus is pretty decent, so we'll maybe show that off here. Sure, let's go ahead and throw this off. We'll get a little delay here. But yeah, Cait Sith is really easy to use because he's not like super combo heavy. It's really about just upkeeping the Lucky Girl buff to get your crits. And then just using what you need for the situation. And I do like that Mog Dance is just a really nice like on-demand heal when you want it. Not too bad. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll put Freeze that. I love using Celis Call with Freya because then all the single targets will just go to her while she's up in the air and they're just going to be whiffing. They're just going to be whiffing. Sure, let's throw this on. Freya is, I don't know, like, I almost feel like Freya is underrated, even though, like, people do talk about Freya, but man, she's just so good. Like, just everything that she does is just crazy. The way she can basically be a dodge tank by jumping in the air, the way that she's doing off-turn damage, which is really important, and healing the whole time. Oh yeah, we haven't talked about the EX yet. So the thing with the EX that can be kind of frustrating is that it basically does a dice roll, and the brave hits will change based on the dice roll. So it can be a little bit randomized there, but for the most part, it's always going to do decent damage. So let's throw the EX out and see what kind of damage we get out of it here. So it's going to do a dice roll. We got 17. And, I mean, I feel like we got pretty good damage out of that. We'll see the numbers here after the launch. So, yeah, we did a mil damage and then 600k. Yeah, that's a very strong EX. Once again, it can vary, though. It's a little RNG, which makes sense because he's, like, from a casino. It's, you know, makes sense. RNG-based. Let's go and do this. Let's maybe just show off, like, a Brave Plus and an HP Plus, and you can kind of get a look at what that looks like. Because it does do decent battery, right? So, like, if you want to save skill uses for some reason, you're on an off turn, you're not using the LD or the EX, then a Brave Plus could be an option for you, right? So let's go ahead and try a Brave Plus here. Okay, so you can see a little bit of damage. It does do an HP dump, right? So it's a decent little attack you can do, right? But for the most part, unless you're worried about running out of skill uses, I think you're fine just basically using Toy Soldier on all of your off turns, and you're probably good to go, right? So anyways, that's Cait Sith, very easy to use. Just keep that LD buff up. He's got healing, he's got buffs, he's got battery. Give him Max Brave to do all that. Let me know if there's anything you think I missed. If you have a request for any character guides I haven't done, please let me know. Just keep in mind I'm only doing character guides right now on C90 characters. So if it's a character that you know has a C90 that I haven't done, let me know if you would like a guide on it. I did just hit summer break, so for those of you that don't know, I'm a teacher. So I've been really, really busy all school year. It's amazing I've been able to keep up with content the way that I have, to be honest. But over the summer here, my plan is to be cranking out videos like crazy. And like, basically, you can expect a character guide on any C90 character at this point forward, because I'm going to have the time to record them all out. So if there's any, though, that I've missed that have already been released that you want to see, please let me know, and I'll maybe try to get a video out on it. I'm going to be going on vacation here pretty soon for like 4 to 5 days, and I'm going to need to pre-record some stuff. So I am looking for possibly some ideas of content you'd like to see that I can pre-record this week before I go on vacation. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching as always. Feel free to check out my Discord. I got a Discord for DFFOO and for Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle. So if you're interested in either of those games getting help, feel free to join the Discord. We're all really nice. We're a cool group. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys all on the next one.